What is good, everybody? What is good? Welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. And today, December 26, 2020, we got a special episode in store for you guys. This is the Simply Ball Dropping Marriage Chronicles. We're going to go out 2020 with a bang. We got our couples in the studio today. We got Brandon Hunt and Sheena Hunt. And we want to welcome them to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Also, I got my co-host. In here, Kanisha Sappington. She's going to ride with me today. We're going to get this thing started. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you taking the time out to come on. And Sheena, appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on the show. And it's a pleasure to have you. All right, so we're going to get started. It's going to be interesting tonight. If any of y'all guys got some questions out there, but the way we're going to kick this Marriage Chronicles off, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Brandon, tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do for a living.
I'm a truck owner. Drive trucks. Own a few trucks. And that's it.
That's about it. Now,
working man.
You're a working man. Now, Sheena, just tell the people a little bit about yourself.
I'm Sheena Hunt. I am a respiratory therapist. So that's what I do. Help people breathe.
Help people breathe?
Yes. Help them breathe.
Okay, that's great. So I got my co-host with me today, Kanisha Sappington. She don't need no introductions. She's been on the show plenty of times. She's the owner and she facilitates the Boho Chic website. She sells her handbags, her jewelry, and her beads and things like that. So we're going to get started by, welcoming them to the show. I do appreciate your time. But if anybody has any questions or anything that y'all want to come up with, just chime in, and my moderator, she'll take care of that.
I got you.
So first off, we're going to start off. It's kind of interesting, man. How long y'all been married?
5 years.
5 years. Yeah, this year made 5 years.
5 years. And how long was y'all dating before y'all got married?
Before 5 years.
5 years. Yeah. So like 4 years. About 4 years.
Okay, so they've been dating 4 years and they've been married going on 5 years. Now let's take a journey on back. All right. Now this is what I want to ask. When y'all got together. Tell the people where y'all from and where y'all met. So I'm gonna start off with you, Brandon. Tell them where you from and where y'all met.
Shreveport, Louisiana. We met back in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had already graduated.
I graduated.
And I was.
She's a year behind me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So in high school, tell the people they want to know. They want to know exactly how it got started. Y'all met in high school, but how did things go down? Tell your story.
Well, it really wasn't going down, like down.
Okay.
Back then, we were just friends.
Okay.
Yeah. So, man. So ain't too much to tell about that. Let's fast forward. We can talk to.
So Now, hold up. How did it transpire into a relationship? I'm gonna give your wife a chance to answer this. I'm gonna put her out there. Yeah. So, Sheena, tell the people, how did it transfer from a friendship to a relationship since y'all met in high school?
So actually, I was a senior. I was getting ready to go to college. I was getting ready to go to Louisiana Tech. It was like the summer of me being a freshman in college, and we talked. We did a lot of talking on the phone. And both of us had situations going on at the time. So we just kept it as a friendship. And just from us talking, we just developed a real good friendship. And I could talk to him about things. He's always been a good listener and gave me good advice. And we just grew a great friendship from that. Yeah.
Well, I see Brandon doing a lot of smiling. Let me backtrack.
Okay.
You alleviated to some things that are interesting.
Okay.
You said y'all developed a great friendship, and he would listen to you.
Yes.
But how did the relationship transpire from a friendship into a relationship? In the situations that you alleviated to, what kind of situations are you referring to?
So, okay, let's just keep it 100.
Keep it 100 on Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Keep it 100.
Keep it 100. When we first laid eyes on each other, you know, I saw him. I had a boyfriend. He had a girlfriend. You know, I saw him and I was like, dang, like,
I look you better.
you look, yeah, you did. You look good. I was like, man, I like that. You know, he had a nice little swag. He never was flashy, never did a lot of talking, but he was quieter, but he just spoke volumes to me. I said, man, I like that. You know, so I'm like, okay. But from then on, because he was respectful as well as I was respectful, so we knew that we had that going on, so we wasn't going to be disrespectful. So therefore, we just became friends. We hung out a lot. And he was friends with two of my cousins, actually. He was friends with them, and I would go to their house and hang with all the guys. It would be all guys and me. You know, they took care of me. And we were just friends at that time. So years and years went on, because this was back in 2002. Yeah, it was 2002. Yeah, that was 18 years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this was in 2002. So years in between, when we start actually?
In
2011. So yeah, from 2002 to 2011, y'all, we just had, honestly, great friendship. Nothing more, nothing less. Straight friends.
Straight friends?
Straight
friends. Now, it's crazy that you say straight friends. Now, I'm looking at Brandon over here. I see the little chuckle. And it's interesting, the story that you told. Now, Brandon, I want to hear from you. Now, being a man, and, you know, your wife now, she says when she laid eyes on you, you was looking good, right? But she still kept it as a friendship, right? So, from your point of view, when you saw Sheena, how did you feel about her at the time when y'all first met?
Oh, yeah. Nice looking, you know. You know,
I liked my long hair.
Long hair. Legs and all, you know. But, yeah, but, no, we just kept it respectful, you know. It was like friendship, man. So it wasn't nothing extra.
Nothing extra?
Nah, not back then.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So we have a question.
Okay.
Someone wants to know, Vaughn wants to know what attracted you to each other.
So my attraction to Brandon, like I said, he wasn't flashy. He was like quieter, but he was so sure about himself. You know, he was real. I don't know. It just spoke through his quietness.
That's that swag.
That swag. It was just.
He had swag.
He had swag. He had swag, and he would wear the hats. You know, like how he had the hats and had a little swag. How he drive. You know, I'm like, man. You know, nice little brown skin thing. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Okay, and you know, when she said brown skin thing, you know, I know y'all seen the movie Brown Sugar, so
oh, yeah.
It like put you in that mind, like two little kids in a candy store.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, it was the way she broke that down, man. It was very. The word I want to use is very intellectual, right?
Right.
Because of the way she broke it down, and you know, reverting back so many years to bring out the attraction that she had for you at the time, and to still remember that off the top of the head. So now it lies in your hands. So, right. Brandon, I mean, tell the people, man, like, what was your attraction to Sheena?
I mean, just overall, man, smart, intelligent, you know, and, you know, Shreveport's pretty small, so, you know, look on reputation and how you carry yourself, and, you know, just everything just come back, you know, attracted.
Okay, you got to convince the people. You ain't got to convince me. You got to convince the people. The people want to know.
That's just what it is.
So, yeah. on that front, quick question. So, when you go back to your high school days, and when you first laid eyes on her, and when was the moment that you felt that it could no longer be a friendship? This would have to be a little bit more than a friend. I'm gonna start with you first, Brandon, and then we'll get to Sheena. So, I understand when y'all first laid eyes on each other, it was a mutual attraction there.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I'm hearing, one of y'all, somebody had to break the ice somewhere, right? So when did you know that you wanted to be more than friends with Sheena?
That was more like 2011.
Yeah.
That was 11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how did you break the ice? I mean, did you pull it to the side? Did you want to, because, you know, from previous conversations, y'all hung out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, Sheena hung out with a lot of guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But me personally as a man, and you attracted to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and you lay your eyes on them, and you say, hey, that's going to be that person. But at the same time, she's hanging out with a lot of males. How did you feel about that then, her hanging out with a lot of males, even though you was around and she was seeing you? But how did you feel about the other males that she was hanging around? Was there something inside of you that's like, oh, something got to shake, something got to
We're
give?
talking in 2011?
Yeah, back in the
Oh,
days.
well, I mean, 2011, it wasn't, it's like we go out and kick it, you know, but it wasn't like just, you know, different males like that around like that. It wasn't like that. But, you know, I mean, I was never just like some worried or nothing like that, but it was just,
Brandon
it was
was
a friendship.
confident.
It was,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a
He is
friendship.
confident.
He was
Yes.
confident.
And I knew where she was in a headspace, and I knew where I was.
So how did you know where she was at in her
Because we was
headspace?
friends.
Y'all was friends, so
Yeah.
Sheena, you said that y'all talked a lot, right? And he
Everything.
listened. So
Yeah, he did.
when she talked to you, was that some of the vibes that you picked up on?
Right,
Like
right.
you knew where she was at,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you didn't have to have no worries because there was other men lurking.
Yeah, that was no.
So you was never concerned about that.
No.
Because a lot of the guys that even when we was hanging, like if we go out,
They'll kiss the
he
vibe.
taking me out.
Yeah.
Oh, he said,
So he
okay.
take my, so it's his homeboys, it's my cousins, like it's like that. And then where we from, Shreveport's small, so we, you know, knew a lot of the same people.
Right.
So we hanging out. If he going to the club, hey, I'm coming too. I'm good with everybody.
So
Like
so let me ask you quick. So Sheena, why did you want to hang out with all the guys? What is it? The reason for you hanging out with the guys because you know Brandon was gonna be around the guys.
Yeah.
Was that that the issue?
I grew up, I never had hung with a lot of females, so a lot of my friends were males and just males, not trying to date them or anything, but that's what I gravitated to when we hung out. You know, and I had a lot of male cousins. So with my cousins, I'm hanging with them, then we just all hanging. So it was just, you know, a good time.
Okay, so you smiling over there.
I'm
So
smiling.
this is what I'm gonna get to. So the group of guys that y'all hung around with,
Right.
right? Was there any particular guy that you felt attracted to, or
Right.
did you feel that person was, you know, digging you? Was there any situation
I
like
think we
that?
had once, it wasn't even a situation, maybe one of the guys, but maybe they showed interest,
Okay.
but Brandon checked that, you know, like, no, you know,
Oh, so he checked it.
he checked
So
it.
that's what I'm trying to ask Brandon. So you said that you wasn't worried about nobody. So why did you feel that you had to check the
Well,
person that was digging her?
He set the record straight.
No. I didn't go to that person and say check them.
Yeah.
But it was one of those type of things. She told me. She was like, I was like laughed. I was like,
Nah.
don't worry.
So Sheena, why did you have to tell him that somebody else was digging you?
So check this out. I don't know how to
I knew
explain the
everybody
picture,
was
but
digging her.
you know what?
I knew everybody that was.
He knew,
We was
yeah,
friends. We talked.
We was friends, so he knew. If somebody was digging me one time, like he knew that.
And vice versa.
So I felt so comfortable with him. I'm like, man, you know, such and such, he liked me. You know, that's how me and him talk. That's what we did. If somebody was like me, or if I was talking to somebody at the time, when I'm talking to somebody, he knew. You know, so it was just like that.
So this is what I'm trying to get at. I understand the conversation y'all had was deep.
Deep.
Y'all mentally
Yeah.
he was in your head,
Mhm.
right? Because he listened to everything that you said,
Most definitely.
and he took heed to things that you said, right?
Right.
So in a situation like that, being a man, you're going to take advantage of some of the things that you say, right? Because some of the things that you bring to him, he be like, I got it right where I want her. Because you confiding in him, right? Confiding in him on some situations that you might not confide in somebody else, right?
Mhm.
So he has the upper hand right there. So when I say go back and check, I'm not even going to use the word check.
Right. Yeah.
You kind of like knew where you stood, and you knew he didn't have a chance.
Yeah, in 11. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Yes,
So it
in
didn't have a chance.
2011.
11. It was.
Yeah.
I wasn't even worried. I mean,
You wasn't worried about it.
So 2011, because like I said, it started all back in 2002, right? But like I said, from 2002 to 2011, when I say strictly friend, like we talked on a friendly level. So fast forward, 2011, I never forget, once again, he had his little friends. I had mine. So he came down to my house for...
It's getting juicy, y'all. It's getting juicy. It's getting juicy. Talk dirty to him. Shout out to my man Dre Day. She gonna talk dirty.
Tell the story, okay? So 2011, it was the summer. In June 2011, we had a family. Every year we would have a little family function.
4th of July.
So it was 4th of July. Sure. See?
It's all coming out now, y'all.
4th of July. So I had a little friend came down to the house, and Brandon came down. So we sitting out there, we playing volleyball. And I guess, with him being a man, he peeping this dude out. And he'll probably tell y'all, if he admitted, he peeping the dude out like, nah, like this ain't for her. So after the cookout, he invited me out.
Yeah, we went out to the club.
We went out to the club that night. Yeah, we went out to the club that night. So it was late that night. It was me and one of my other cousins. So Brandon had his own house. And at this time, I'm living in Dallas.
Big ballin'.
He living in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm in Dallas. So I'm like, dang, it's late. I don't want to go back to my parents' house. So me and my friend spend the night me and my cousin spend the night at his house. So y'all, mind y'all, once again, me, and I promise y'all, I'm being naive. 2011, I'm still naive to Brandon liking me. I didn't think it would ever be nothing. You know, right?
But but in your mind, did you want him to like you?
Ooh, did I want him to like me? I don't know.
What you mean you don't know?
At that time, I don't think.
I didn't at that time.
We missing something.
Let me tell you. Okay, let me add this. 2011 too. I had a family member, I should say, that was liking Brandon as well. Right? So at this point, I'm like, ooh, it can't be nothing because this person liking him, So this can't be nothing. That's what I'm still thinking in my head. Right? Anyway, we go out that night. My cousin, this is a different person.
Was it Cousin Faith?
No, that's my girl. Shout out to my girl. No, we don't.
No, you know the movie.
I know, right?
She's up with the family.
Oh, it's all right.
Soul food. There's always that family member that want to turn the corner.
So y'all, me and this cousin, we spend the night over his house. So the cousin, like, man, dang, he fine. She like, dang, I'm like,
y'all gotta see me over here gloating.
She was like, dang, like, I want to know what's up with him. So, me and him just being friends. I'm like, hey, he's single, that's on you. So that next morning, that night, we go to IHOP. Mm-hmm. And so Brandon had a cousin as well, right? Mm-hmm. You had a cousin staying with you. We go to IHOP. We get inside of IHOP. Now, instead of me and Brandon's cousin sitting by each other, Brandon comes sit by me. Right? You remember that? Yeah. So Brandon comes sit by me. My cousin sit by his cousin. But his cousin looking at me, my cousin looking at him. Like, it was crazy. So after that night, we spent the night. We hung out a little bit. The next morning.
I gave him my bedroom.
He did. Yeah. He was such a gentleman. Okay. He gave up his bedroom, so me and my cousin slept together.
Y'all heard that, ladies? This man is being a gentleman and gave up his bedroom.
Gave up his room.
With no intentions.
No intentions, y'all. No intentions. So y'all, kid you not, that next morning, with me and my cousin, I think we was getting ready to come back to Dallas, and she was like, Shayna, she's like, I think he like you. I'm like, no, that's my boy. Like, no, it ain't nothing like that. She's like, I think he like you. And so you can. What you got? So I'll stop there.
No. Sheena's gonna tell it all.
I'm telling it all.
But some of the ladies, they want to hear from you, Brandon. How did you feel about what your wife just said back in the days? How she was feeling for you? She telling the truth. Now we need to hear your side of the story. Now it's always two sides to a story. Like I tell people, being a man, I know how men are and how they feel toward women if they got their eyes locked on one person, right? So if you had your eyes locked on her and you knew that, you was being a gentleman because you was trying to gain that respect from her, your gentleman's side, by not trying to move too fast. You knew what you was up to. It's always a plan, and you know it. And I want to know, and the people want to know, how did you feel about what she said, and where was your mental space going into it, and when did you gain that attraction where you said, hey, I need to go ahead and put my best foot forward and move in?
That was more like 2011. And around that time, I mean, we spent a lot of time there, start kicking it. And I'm coming back and forth to Dallas too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
I mean, now this time she's single and I'm single.
Right.
Okay.
And we're kicking it, spending a lot of time together. And it was just, I mean, I feel like I had to go ahead and do my Superman thing, you know?
So what made you, I mean, when did them feelings turn from a friendship knowing that you could see a future with Sheena?
It was over the time.
Over the time?
You know, you're building a trust, relationships. You want to be around a person. I mean, you got everything under the roof. I mean, I didn't. Who watching me?
Huh?
Who watching me?
Hey,
What goes on
they
on
said
the
that.
Simply Ball
Hey,
Drop
they said
Show.
now it's time for you to talk.
Oh,
So you got to
well,
talk.
then that's when it, you know, our friendship went to another level, more of a physical level.
Okay.
And then that's when the question came upon, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like everything came up under the same roof.
Okay.
You know, you got your love and respect. You're always around this person, so.
Friendship.
And you got your friendship, you know. Family, you know what I'm saying? Our family's already
Right.
close
Yeah.
knit.
Our families are already close.
So, I mean, just all came up under the roof, and then it was just time that I was just like, you know, hey, what you want to do?
Okay. So I see you see Sheena over there giggling, right?
Yeah.
And when you talk about physical attraction,
Right.
you know, they're a solid couple. You know, attractive young lady. This guy got swag, and he always puts me in the mindset. He's not from the East Coast, but the times I've been around him, the hat swag, the chain, he got that New York vibe to him. So when you're talking about being, you know, that swag, I can see where Sheena, you know, gets that from by saying her man got swag. So Sheena, on your front, so with him saying all that, how you feel about that at the time that was going on? Now, fast forward to, you know, you guys are married now, but how do you feel about, you know, what he just said and the things that, you know, evolved and how he said, okay, it's time for him to put his best foot forward?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
So, like I said, all this happened back in 2011. So initially, when everything, you know, the steps kept taking, we had the friendship, we had the everything at this point. So when he came to me and kind of was like a relationship, initially I was hesitant because our friendship was so good and I didn't want to lose that. So I was like, dang, you know, if he become my boyfriend,
Yeah.
like I won't have that friend no more that I can run to whenever for whatever I need because he was there for me, whatever. I call him, he there. So we kind of talked about it, and he used to kill a line on me.
Yeah, go ahead, tell me like.
Yeah. He told me, he said, look, you gonna worry about what people say, or you want to be happy. So I said,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
I said, okay.
Well, you know,
That was deep.
That was deep.
Brandon, I just want to say,
for the job.
I
the
had to
fella
think
said
about
you
it.
need to speak loud and proud.
Yeah,
I had to think about it. I'm like, wow, do I want to be happy? Because I was really worried at the time what people were going to say because we were such good friends. And, you know, I was nervous. I was nervous about it and losing that friendship. But honestly, to fast forward, I'm happy that I did. Because honestly, y'all, you know, Brandon, he's not a man of many words. So when he did decide, you know, he was just like, hey, he was like, so we together or what? I said, what? Are we together?
Oh, so he put it down like, yeah, he just said y'all
He
together.
just straight up, he was like, we together or what? I was like, I guess we together.
Yeah, she just giggled. No, she got that little giggle. And
I started laughing like, shoot,
So
we together.
this is what I'm confused about.
What you
This is what I'm
confused
confused about.
I cleared up for you. What you got?
This is what I'm confused about.
Mhm.
You said that you didn't want him to like you,
Yeah.
but when he put himself out there to like you, you was giddy about it.
Yeah.
I mean, why was you so giddy about it if you didn't want this man to like you?
I was already in her soul.
Not the soul.
Wow.
Did you say the soul,
That
Brandon?
he was in my soul.
Oh.
Okay.
You know, it takes time to get in
That's
the soul.
deep.
That's deep.
That's
That's
real
deep. He got in the soul, but
Woo.
that's what I'm saying. You was in her soul, but she didn't want you to like her. So why didn't you want him to like
When
you?
you're in church and the spirit hits your soul, you can't control yourself.
No.
Hey,
He
hey.
just took it to church.
Somebody said that crown make you talk. Keep talking. And he on the rock. Yeah.
He done took it to church on us. So
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, Sheena. So why was you so giddy when he said that y'all are boyfriend and girlfriend?
Because listen, I'm going to tell you like this. Because I always refer back to 2011. I always separate from 2002 to 2011. So 2011, I'm single, he's single. You know, it's a lot of stuff going on.
It's a lot that happened.
It's a lot that happened in between that. We had so much go on in that time. We remained so close friends, you know, but life happened.
Life
both
happened.
of us.
We understand.
You know? So
We'll touch on that.
We'll touch on that, yeah.
We
So,
gotta get into that.
so around July 2011, you know, the man's still fine. You know, he still look good. That ain't never changed to me. You know, so I still had the attraction, but it was certain things I was like, ooh, I don't know if I should take it there with him because of our friendship, because of other people liking him at the time that I knew. I was like,
Was you scared?
I was scared.
Okay. Did
I was
somebody,
scared.
for the people that was liking, did somebody present a challenge to you?
No
that
challenge to me.
So
Oh,
what
I
was you-
I was up for the challenge. I knew I was good.
So what was you
That's
scared for?
Of what people would say, of what people would say, and what people would think.
Right.
That was my problem. That was
Okay.
that was on me because I was worried about what the people would say. Because for so long, people always said that we was dating anyway. People thought we was messing around anyway, but we wasn't. So I'm like, dang, people gonna think, you know, like, dang, they been messing around. So I was just that was on me. I was worried about people,
Okay.
and I shouldn't have, you know. So that was my thing.
Okay. When y'all talking about
Can I
life,
ask one quick
go ahead.
question?
Yes.
When you say people, Sheena,
Mhm.
who do you mean? Do you mean like family,
Family.
or friends?
Yeah. So more of
Okay.
that, more family, because also Brandon, I got really close with his family. He was close to my family too. Because at this time, y'all, we only called each other brother and sister, so we on that kind of level.
Okay.
Like we was
so
like
your
we
family
like
friends
family.
knew you like y'all were
Like
like,
brother and
ooh,
sister.
like,
Yeah, like
what y'all doing getting together?
So
Huh?
basically,
Exactly.
we don't want to disappoint them.
we don't want to
Right.
disappoint
No,
him.
she don't want to disappoint
Well, I
them.
didn't. He didn't care.
So, ho. So when you say you didn't want to disappoint your family, but that's your life. I mean,
But
That's not how. We come from the South, you know.
yeah.
Okay.
Where we come from.
well, let them know. They want to know.
Yeah,
They
that's
say
fine.
lovers and
Yeah, we're
friends.
from the like
Okay.
the South.
Yeah.
Like we, you know, it's a lot of respect.
A lot of
there.
respect.
Because, you know, a lot of families are close.
Our families were close.
Okay.
Yeah, at the same time, so it's respect.
But
there.
somebody got to break the mold somewhere, right?
Yeah, but we, you know,
I mean-
we weren't thinking about. I wasn't thinking about breaking it.
So
but
if y'all would have went on to think about the family the whole time,
Yeah.
things would have been different.
Yeah,
We
we
would
would've
probably
never
never
done
got this exclusive,
we
right?
would have never been together.
That's what I'm saying. So at what point did you think that, hey, I got to live my life, I got to be happy?
The man had to speak. I had to
Which
tell
man
him,
has
like,
spoke.
hey.
Okay, because Brandon had to
You
break it
know.
down.
So you had to break it down to
Yeah,
her and let her know, hey, you
yeah.
can't worry about what the family think.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
You know, if our feelings are mutual and we want to move on with this thing,
Mhm.
we got to break it somewhere.
Right. Because if he never would have came at me and talked to me like that, we would have still just been friends. I wouldn't have, no matter how I wanted them, I liked them or whatever, it would never.
One
When
more
it got
question.
here.
Do you feel like not only was it the people you were worried about and your friends and family, did you have a fear that if we do this and it don't work, then we done messed up our
We done messed
friendship.
up.
man.
That
So
was
we
the thing.
can't be cool like
That's it.
sister and brother no more.
Yeah.
So
And
we
that
messed
was
us
that
up.
was a big fear. And at the, that and like I say, just family wise.
Yeah.
So that was a big fear.
So
because-
you were scared to lose that friendship? Like
Most
if you'd have
definitely.
went too far and the friendship would have messed up,
Mhm.
you would have thought that, hey, I can never get this friendship back.
And at the same time, and just to be completely honest, even on the family end, I didn't want to mess up ties because, you know, some ties have been broken because of that. But, you know, I didn't want to mess that up as well. So
Okay.
it was a lot for me, you know, initially. It was a lot because I don't want to
Okay.
just, you know.
So-
you know what I mean?
It's some things that we're going to touch on right here.
Okay.
Brandon, you went away for a while, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And let's talk about you going away for a while and Sheena being that ride or die homegirl at the time before things transpired. She was down for you.
I am.
Now, Sheena, I want you to tell the people, when Brandon was away,
Right.
how did you stay by his side?
Got on the visiting list. I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming to visit. Anytime I can, I'm coming. I'm rewriting, and I'm down there. I'm right
Now,
there.
mind you guys, Sheena had to travel a little ways to go visit him.
Okay.
Now, this is the type of
He
person
was in
that.
the soul.
Well, he said he was in the
Said he
soul.
got in the soul.
But
Yeah.
when she talking about, at first, y'all heard her saying that she didn't want this dude to like her. Now she's traveling, I'm not saying 15 to 20 minutes to go visit this guy. It was hours that she had to go drive to visit this guy, and she was down for a person that she didn't want that person to like her. So tell the people, for a person that you didn't want them to like you, but you stayed down for him and you visit him to keep his spirits up. And like he said, by that time he was already in your soul, so you had no choice but to go visit. So let the people know. A lot of people comment and talk about that's loyalty. Yeah, I mean that is loyalty.
Yeah.
That is loyalty. Like,
Definitely.
I mean, y'all see the couple that I'm interviewing. You know, they matching. You know what I'm saying? They in sync. So they've been down for one another for a long time. And you know, Sheena, they want you to tell them, like, how was them visits?
Man. So honestly, initially, it was hard. I was happy to see him, and over time, like, I wanted to just go see him so I could make sure he was good. Like, we were right.
And then another thing too, I think at that time she was in a situation also.
I was, yeah.
So we was really helping each other out, like,
Most definitely.
you know what I'm saying, staying down and, you know, giving advice and, you know.
Right, because I
basically, you know, because, you know, prison is a state of mind.
right,
You can be free
yeah,
and still be locked up.
most definitely.
And so
yeah,
at the time we both was locked up. So
most definitely. Because at the
you
time
know,
I was.
Hey, he getting deep on y'all. Hey,
Yeah.
they said keep on drinking that Ciroc. You gonna keep on talking dirty. Keep drinking that
gotta
Ciroc.
slow down.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey,
you
Jack,
know.
ice.
So yeah, like you said, prison is definitely a state of mind. But at the time, because I have a son as well, let me put that out there. And I have.
Oh, we're gonna touch on it. We'll touch on it.
Definitely, so yeah, I had a situation, so he was basically there I could lean on, and we just, like you said, we both was like loyal to each other and just down for one another. And at that time, like I said, honestly, still on that friendship level.
Friends, you know.
And I'm coming to see him, and it just made me happy after the visit. Like, I'm like, hey, he good now. He okay. He good. So I was just happy,
Man, that's beautiful right there.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that's
Love
beautiful.
it.
And they say, friends first get to know each other, and that's
Most
why.
definitely. Most
So,
definitely.
Brandon, how did that make you feel when somebody that you was trying to pursue, but she didn't want you to like her, coming to visit you? And like I said, it wasn't 2 or 3 miles. She was driving ways. How did that make you feel, and how did that uplift you when you was doing your bid?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was happy to see him,
Okay.
At the same time, I was still like, still want to encourage her to,
Most definitely.
do the right thing, or
Most definitely.
stay on the right track.
Yeah, most definitely.
That wasn't even, nothing but being with me, but just
Right.
staying on the right track, on a
Right.
friend level.
Most definitely.
Keep your life straight,
Too smooth.
He did. And
I was being honest though.
he y'all, seriously, honestly, and even, through my situation, he never was like, yeah, I'm gonna get you from that dude, or I'm gonna get
No.
never. He was always telling me what's right. He was always encouraging me, so it was never no funny business. He was always just straight up encouraging. So
Now, see, a lot of people out here that's listening, man, I mean, this is powerful, because the reason why I say it's powerful is because, like, a lot of people are commenting on the Instagram saying that, the lovers before friends, right? And people that's looking at this and people that's going to look at this, man, it's a beautiful story. A love story always has something behind it. And that's why I'm always intrigued to have people on my show. And that's why I started the Simply Ball Dropping Marriage Chronicles. To interview, couples on how they got together and how things started and how things transpired. So it's beautiful. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And now we're going to fast forward a little bit on how Brandon's mindset changed, saying, hey, I don't want her to be my friend no more. This is going to be the one that I'm rocking with. So when did your mind change, and what did you think, and how did you feel after you did your time and you got out? How did things go from there?
Okay.
Yeah.
It happened fast. So keep up.
Either.
I came home in 2010.
Okay.
We started dating at the end of 11.
11, yeah, at the end of the day.
Okay, so when I came home, she was still counting her situation, but I knew it was going down, so And like I say, we was in a space where we just like, well, you know, let's go out, let's kick it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, get your mind away from that. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, you still got to realize over the years, everything just came up under one umbrella. This is the girl that rode for me. You know what I'm saying? That rode with me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win with it. You know?
So, yeah, hey, she said, who better? Y'all hear that? Y'all peep that? She said, who better? So, Brandon, what made you turn the page and say, hey, this is her. This is who I want to be with. When did things in your mind click like, hey, this is the one I want to be with. All this stuff that I did in the past, I'm gonna kick that to the curb, and this is gonna be the one that I'm gonna ride for.
2011. Went down.
Y'all,
2011 when we
yeah. 2010 and 2011.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all better play them numbers. 2010 and 2011 because we saying a lot of that.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot that we saying. So y'all take heed to them dates. But you know he's spitting facts now. So all the men that are listening, man, this cat is spilling his beans on the Simply Ball Dropping podcast, letting people know how he got with his beautiful young lady and how they became one. So he's letting y'all know.
And it's the first, y'all, because he don't talk about his feelings and nothing like that. He don't talk, so y'all.
I got the exclusive, y'all. I got the exclusive.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
2011, man. I'm like, get it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, did a conversation ever come up between both of y'all, like saying, hey, you know, I want to talk to you and I think we should take that next step forward? Sheena, I'm going to let you answer that question. So, did he come to you and say, hey, I think it's the right time for us to move forward?
I remember the date. Remember I told you? I'm going to take you on a date. Now, mind you, I always take her out. So,
yeah. Now, we did.
Hey, we'll go on a date.
Hey, when we would go out, y'all, we kicking. It's a lot of us. We hanging. So, this particular time, once again, like I said, 2011, he said, I want to take you out on a date. And I was like, a date? Me being dumb. I'm like, a date? You know, you want to take me on a date? So, he was like, yeah. He said, I'm coming. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to take you on a date. You know, we going to the movies like we did. I'm like, a date? I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm like, okay, cool. Not thinking nothing, y'all. But I'm like, okay, cool. We went on that date. Y'all, I said, dang. I kind of like see him in a different light. I'm like, wow, you're a gentleman. Which he's always been a gentleman, but it was a little different. A little different on this date.
Because it was a date.
Because it was a date. I seen how he date. I'm like, oh. Because I always saw him on the friend side, but on a date, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, you did that. I appreciate that.
That's nice.
Yeah, so on that front, so was the vibes, did you feel like when he came to you and said, hey, we're going to change it to another level, Brandon, I know you over here laughing and everybody say, yeah, he got swag and stuff like that. I see all the comments, guys, so I'm responding to the comments as we're doing this live. And a lot of people saying kudos to y'all for coming on to the show. So, Brandon, so from what she just said, I don't know how much y'all talk now on y'all's past, on how things transpired, but to hear some of this stuff, how does it make you feel?
I mean, she really put it back in my mind, like, cause everything flowed like natural though, man. It really wasn't no hidden agendas though. It was like everything just fell in line.
It just fell in place.
It perfect.
It fell in place, and like I say, once again, y'all also know that he was living in Louisiana. I was in Dallas, so we did the long distance thing too as well.
Oh yeah.
So once we decided in 2011, when he was like, "Are you with me or not? You gonna be mine or not?" However he put it. From that day on, I was still in Dallas. He was in Louisiana, so I mean, I did a lot of road trips.
A lot of back and forth.
A lot of back and forth.
Hey.
I did a lot of driving. Y'all.
Women, for the women that's looking and listening, hey, this woman, she is down for her man. But as y'all hear what she's down for her man, but if y'all go back early, she didn't want this dude to like her.
I was scared, guys.
And she said she was scared, but now we're going to fast forward a little bit. So now that the ice has been broken and y'all became that item, that boyfriend and girlfriend,
yeah.
how did it get to the physical level? Like, when did the ice break on the physical level? And I'll let Brandon answer
Most
this.
definitely. Let him
How did the physical attributes come apart? When did you say, hey, man, hey, hey, we gonna talk dirt. Hey, how did you know that you said, hey, I gotta get a piece of that?
Let's see. I think that was on a trip to Dallas. And,
Yeah.
Me and my cousin, we rode out here or whatever. And
Tell him where you took me. First time ever going.
XTC.
Yes. Took me to the strip club.
They went to the
First
strip club, y'all.
Yeah, we went to the strip club. And we just kicked it and had a good time. And hey,
time. One thing I ain't said
I
no.
like what I seen. That wasn't the first time, though.
Oh, it wasn't the first time.
No.
So hold on, let's back up now.
No.
So the first time it went down, how did it go down? How did it transpire? How did y'all get to that moment?
What happened was I was working in the oil field, and I was working, a lot of hours or whatever. But I still managed to kick it with the people. You know what I'm saying? Kick it. So she came in town, and I'm coming off 19 hours in oil field, and
They said, "Say it louder, B."
I come out 19 hours in oil field working. So what happened was she was in town. And she was like, what we gonna do tonight or whatever. So I told them, just go to my house. It was her and her cousin and him. Y'all go to my house, I'll be there, when I
So you had already set this up?
Yeah. Y'all
Hey,
good.
this man B, he's smooth. And see, his wife already said that swag. He's smooth.
Hey, he pulled it out.
Yeah, he already laid it out, man.
So after I get off,
Y'all take heed of this, fellas.
I come home.
I was 19.
I got a house full of women.
Yeah.
It's her cousin, my play sister. She was there.
Yeah.
And we was just out there having a good time. I think they had the Wii game out in there dancing and doing their thing.
Yeah.
And me. So the night starting to come to an end, and so everybody else to the house. She just stayed. So
hold on, why do you kick everybody else out and let her stay?
They didn't get kicked out.
Everybody was kind of
Everybody went their separate ways.
So why didn't you leave, Sheena?
Well, she knew she was gonna stay.
But that's what I'm. So why didn't you leave?
I mean, he got a whole house here, this my homeboy, so I mean, this.
Did you want to stay?
Yeah, I wanted to stay, yeah.
So in your mind, you thinking on the same lines as him, it's about to go down.
Yeah, because usually I offer my bed, but this time I didn't offer my bed.
He didn't, yeah, he didn't offer. I should have knew some, y'all.
I told him, you might as well come back here.
Yeah, because I'm sitting on the couch, y'all. I'm the only one left. He go back in the back room. He walked back out.
It was a setup.
So why didn't you leave? So why didn't you leave?
I mean, honestly, let me tell y'all honestly, a friend of mine took my car and she went over a friend's house, so now I'm left there. So she was like, she'll be back. She had to make a run. She'll be back. So I'm sitting there on the couch. He then went back to the room and he came back. He's like, oh, you can come in here. So I was like,
Well, hold up. You said he was a gentleman, right? So
always.
if you would have asked him, hey, can you give me a ride home? You think he would have gave you a ride home?
Oh, yeah.
He would have.
So why didn't you ask?
Because, let me tell you, she don't remember this, but we had already been kind of talking. I asked the question. I was like, if we ever took our friendship to another level,
you did.
Would that affect
anything?
She
Now
like,
we
no,
get
she
somewhere.
laughing. What level? I said physical.
Yeah.
If we ever became physical, would that change?
Yeah, you did.
And she was like, she thought about it. She said, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Hey, she said
she was ready.
Hey,
Hey,
I was a G about it.
hey, now you a G about it. So he put his plan in motion, Sheena.
Right.
So now you're thinking that he had a plan. So was you going along with the plan, or was this something you wanted as well?
I went along with the plan.
Okay, now that's a cop out. That's a cop out. That's a,
So,
you came this far. Keep speaking the truth.
Listen, I went along with the plan, but if that was gonna happen, I wasn't opposed to that.
So now, so you wanted it to happen?
I just wanted it to happen, but if it was gonna happen, I wasn't stopping.
You wasn't
I
stopping.
wasn't gonna stop.
So if he made the move, you wasn't going to
it was
reject
on.
it.
He made the move his own.
Say that louder.
He made the move. If he
We're
made
getting
the
a
move,
couple
it's
people
on.
to say the couple needs to talk louder.
Y'all
So
need to
maybe
talk louder.
Maybe you need to turn me up, Kareem.
Let me turn them
He
up.
said turn him up.
All right.
mic
All right.
check.
Mic check.
Mic
All right.
check.
Can
Mic
y'all
check,
hear now?
Sheena.
Mic
Let me know
check.
if you can hear
Can
now.
y'all hear me?
Check.
Yeah. So now y'all a little louder. So just speak a little louder so that people can hear. They very intrigued with the conversation. So now,
Can they hear me?
yeah, they can hear you now. They should be able to hear you.
So I stated, if he made the move, then it's on.
It's on.
It's on.
On and popping.
It's on and popping.
Okay. So after he made the move, Brandon, they say you slick. They say,
People on
say
here
that
saying
slick
you real
ass.
slick.
Yeah, they're slick ass. You know what I'm saying? They saying you slick. So
Oh,
I'm just gonna go with people saying that you slick ass. So you knew what your plan was, right? You knew what you wanted that night.
We talked about it.
Bump that talking. Bump the talking.
Okay.
Y'all talked about it. We know that.
Okay.
But your plan was when everybody leaves, it's on and popping. It's going down.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yes.
Because you said, but hold on, you previously stated that you would give up your bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
this night,
we're gonna share it.
you gonna share
We're
it.
gonna share it.
This night we shared.
So what was the reason to share the bed this night? So you had a plan that night,
We
right?
talked
He
about
knew it was going. He knew what was going.
So you knew it was going down.
Yep. He
That's
knew.
why I
mean-
shared my bed.
Hey,
He knew.
he had it planned from the beginning.
This day he said it's going.
When
They
he said,
said-
all y'all go to my house, he
Yeah.
had already had all that
Because we had
planned.
already been talking about it.
A lot of people said B is like the A team. I love it when a plan comes together. So your plan came together.
Yes.
Execute.
Fast forward, we won the championship.
So he won the championship. He got his ring.
There we go.
So
Hey,
after
got the ring. Got the ring.
after that physical part was out the way, did you feel different after all that went down? Did your feelings increase, or you was like, damn, I made a mistake? Is this something this gonna be?
No, definitely increase.
Okay.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So now
So
now she's in your soul.
No, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so.
now you got everything on the roof now.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you got all this, we know she's beautiful, smart, intelligent, everything's coming together. Loyal, because we fast forwarding.
Yeah.
To be it over with, we kicking it. We enjoy being around each other. We friends.
Yeah.
I mean, what more can you ask for now?
All right. So all that was under one roof. So how did you feel after the physical part happened, Sheena?
Yeah.
That increased?
Y'all shouldn't say nothing.
it's
man.
speechless.
Hey.
In the soul.
Yeah.
See, I'm live with him, and I saw the legs go. Click, click.
Hey.
I saw that leg shiver over there. So I mean, hey,
Oh, yeah. Yep. It was definitely in the soul.
I love
So-
the honesty.
yeah, that's we keep it real here on Simple
Yeah,
Ball
we
Dropping
keep- I'm
Podcast.
keeping
We
it
keep it
real.
real. So now that's fast forward. So now after all that's done, he said, Brandon, you said it's all under one roof. Now, how did it come to the point where you said, hey, she is going to be the one and I'm going to marry her? When did your feelings change to saying to yourself that, hey, this is going to be my wife?
I seen the sacrifice in what both of us was doing.
Mhm.
To be honest.
Yeah.
That's when we really ride off each other. Like back and forth, Dallas Street.
Mhm.
We're talking about moving finances around. That's a big
Yeah.
part.
Okay.
Now
Yeah.
I'm a man, so we protect our finances. So when I'm investing that, that's where I'm staying at. So
All right now.
Wow.
so it's just what it is. So
All right now.
They said you're getting too deep, V.
I'm just keeping it 100.
Right.
Too deep.
I'm keeping it 100.
You keep it
Yeah.
100. That's what we do on the
Yeah.
Simple Ball Dropping
Yeah.
Podcast.
Definitely a lot of sacrifices, y'all. Like I
Yeah.
say, driving back and forth.
forth.
Because I was set in Dallas. I had my career, but also he had his business, and he was running out of Louisiana, and I had a situation with my son where I had to be here. So it was like he didn't want to move initially. He was like,
I wasn't
he
trying
wasn't
to hear
having it. He wasn't having it.
At
I don't want
first.
to be in Dallas. You can come back here. I'm like, I'm here. I'm in Dallas. I got to be here. And so that was definitely a great sacrifice for him, having to move his business, and it was a lot.
It was a lot.
Now, see, a lot of people y'all might not know. Now, Sheena has a 12-year-old son by the name of JB, and I coach him on the basketball team. Great kid. So, when y'all hear Sheena talk about, she did a lot of traveling and stuff.
I would just keep you.
But Brandon, man, he been in JB's life for a long time, so that's his son.
Yeah.
So he basically raised JB.
Yeah.
And when they talk about sacrifices, there's a lot of sacrifices that comes along with their relationship.
Definitely.
And Brandon, as being a man with businesses, moving around, traveling, and a lot of people don't know, like you said, they from Shreveport, but Sheena was in Dallas. Brandon was in Shreveport, and they was traveling back and forth. So they was meeting at the halfway point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a funny story about her son, and I want her to tell y'all how she told her son about Brandon.
Y'all made me
Yeah, drink out. Uh-oh.
It gets real right here, y'all.
Yeah.
It gets real.
So, once again, because me and Brandon been knowing each other, me and Brandon knew each other before my son was born. So, let me just clear that up. But even before he was born. So, since me and Brandon had that friendship and we called each other brother and sister, my son knew Brandon as his brother.
Y'all hear that?
Oh, as his brother.
As his brother.
So, he always
Wow.
called Brandon his brother.
And my mom was his
And his
godmother.
and
Oh, wow.
yeah. So the son knew Brandon as brother. Brandon's mom, he knew her as his godmother. That's the relationships he knew.
Mm-hmm.
So as we got a little deeper, one night my son, he kept calling, Brandon brother, of course. So Brandon got Brandon told, you know what now? Because we was talking about having a baby or something, and JB didn't understand it. So